I was disappointed, I think, with the quality of the passing, the bravery of not sticking it into midfield. I thought their midfield three really, to be fair, played fantastically well. Musa, McKennie and Adams, I thought they outrun us. I thought they were better on the ball, they were braver, quicker, brighter. I thought our two centre-backs got stuck on the ball quite a bit at the back, passing between each other. And then the big question everyone's asking in England is Phil Foden. Look, Phil Foden for me is a generational talent. And I saw one with England 20 years ago, Paul Scholes, in and out of the team, moved out of position. Gareth, interestingly, last night said that he didn't see him as one of the two tens, which is Bellingham and Mount's role. But that would then mean that he was fifth choice to play in one of the wide areas, because obviously Saka and Sterling started and Grealish and Rashford came on. And I can't believe Phil Foden would be fifth choice. I think Phil Foden would play for any other country in the world. He plays for the best probably club team in the world at this moment in time, or one of them in Manchester City. And Phil Foden for me has to play for England and play until he actually gets into form and it works. We cannot allow Phil Foden not to work for England, because he's the biggest talent, the highest quality, the most technical ability. And that was the big takeaway from me. Our first substitutions were Henderson and Grealish, and we took off Sterling and Bellingham, who were two goal scorers. Grealish and Henderson haven't got goals in them as much. So the approach is the thing that everybody in England's talking about, but Gareth has navigated tournaments really well in this last two tournaments and taken us further than anyone since Sir Alf Ramsey. So I'm still optimistic. There are bumps in tournaments. A tournament's not a bed of roses. They do go like that. But that tinge of disappointment, more than a tinge of disappointment with our approach in the game.
So what do you think should change for the game against Wales in a few days' time? What would you change?
Biggest thing would be for me, the two centre-backs playing the ball into midfield. When you watch the best midfield players in the world, they don't get the ball. I thought Declan Rice last night, I love him to bits, he was well off it. But every time he got the ball, he took the safe option to pass it to his full-back. That's what the opposition team wants, so they can shuffle across and manage you from a side. The best teams get on the half-turn in midfield, they pop it round the corner, they play 1-2s, they actually combine with each other as a three. The USA team did that. Pedri, Gavi and Busquets do that. Whichever midfield you talk about as a great midfield, they keep the ball in that central area. Manchester City just don't play easy options all the time from side to side. That's what teams do, that sometimes when they're obviously in front, 2-0 up. You can switch play, you can shift the team across. But last night England didn't get on the half turn in central midfield. That was a big thing for me. The next thing would be, I think, to find a place for Phil Foden. I think we have to. I love Saka, I love Raheem Sterling, but I would say we have to find a place for him to see where he's at in terms of his form. I have asked the question this morning, because Gareth sometimes does do this. Has something happened in training with Foden that we don't know about? Has something happened that we don't know about off the pitch? Because to not bring him on, look, I'm speculating as to why he wouldn't come on last night. The England fans booed at the end of the game. That's because they've paid thousands of pounds to come over here and they expected more. They want more from that group of players. When you see a team that's got Rashford, Grealish, Foden, Mount, Sterling, Bellingham, Saka, unbelievable, Kane, unbelievable talent. Lots of countries would die for this attacking talent. And yet we've got it and we played that poorly. And I've been there as a coach, I've been there as a player, where we haven't maybe been as attacking and as progressive as we should be. And I get it from Gareth's side. I think with those substitutions of Grealish and Henderson were about as much stopping us losing the game as they were about us to go and win the game. I think he felt at that time we were a little vulnerable. If you remember, the USA were getting a lot of corners, they were having a lot of attacks. Harry Maguire was heading them all out. He was doing really well, but it looked like it was getting nearer. We were right at that end. And I just feel that maybe the attacking approach, playing out from the back, quicker tempo, and just maybe getting Foden into the team, I think is important, because I didn't mention Maddison either. We've got players who can really get on the half turn, and I think we need to get players who are on the half turn. I think Bellingham, Mount and Rice last night, they were beaten up a little bit on the ball by the other players that played for USA, the opposition players for USA.